Good morning. I'm Leon Thomas. You're welcome to another episode of NRG This Week. I'll be right back with CEO and President of NRG, Mike Weiner. This is NRG This Week. Here we go. Good morning. I'm Leon Thomas, and welcome to NRG This Week. NRG This Week airs every Monday right here live at 8 a.m. Eastern. So what does that mean? If you're in California and it's 5 a.m., thanks for getting up to watch us. But listen, you don't have to watch Monday at 8 o'clock because we run the show over and over again during the week. So you can always catch NRG This Week on YouTube, Facebook, and on LinkedIn. Let's bring in Mike Weiner, CEO and President of NRG This Week. Mike, how you doing?
I am doing absolutely awesome, Leon. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. Everything is good. So, Mike, tell us some things that happened at NRG last week. There was a speaker series for sure. Tell us some about that.
Absolutely, Leon. We had Marianne with Action International. They are a member in our Winston-Salem NRG group, and she was absolutely amazing. If you missed it, you missed it. I took 3 pages of notes. She really dug into your business and what you should be looking to do and how you can improve it. And she shared with us, it will be a video going out to the NRG members, which is another benefit of membership. But Marianne runs a franchise in Winston-Salem, and she was absolutely sparkling phenomenal.
Oh, that's great. Great to hear. And what else is coming up at NRG this week, Mike?
You know what? We've got a lot of meetings coming up this week. We've got the NRG Experience on Wednesday night. It's just been a great run. We're in the middle of August now, almost the middle of August, and a lot of new members coming in. We signed up a franchise consultant from the NRG Experience. We've got all our weekly meetings going on, and it may be the middle of summer. Some people may be away, but NRG is sizzling right now. A lot of networking, and we had a ton of new members join in Philadelphia, New York, and Houston last week. So a lot of growth everywhere.
All right, that's great to hear. Mike, tell us about our guest for today. Go ahead and introduce our guest. And as we bring your guest on, you guys go ahead and talk, and I'll join you in a bit.
Absolutely. So I'm really excited, Leon, to have Tracy Kay here. We had her husband, Jeff, a couple of weeks ago, who does digital. He digitizes stuff, but Tracy is amazing. She is in the travel industry, been in it for quite a while. She recently joined our Houston, Texas group. And Tracy, I'm going to talk with you a little bit. And how many years now have you been in the travel industry?
Unofficially over 20, officially 4. I was the one that always arranged everything for the family, or people would come to me for advice. And I'm like, why don't I just do this professionally, just officially? So 4 years now, I've owned my own franchise.
Awesome. I got 2 more questions for you. What is your biggest really excitement about helping somebody plan a cruise? What gives you the most joy when you're able to work through it and help the individual or the couple or the if it's a family reunion? What really excites you about helping someone hand select a cruise and walk them all the way through it?
Okay, so first off, I do cruises and land. So, but when it comes to a cruise or really any kind of travel, the thing that you want to get to is, what do they really want? That's what excites me, to craft a trip and an experience, really, because you're making lifetime memories. So to when they come back and they go, oh my goodness, this was everything I wanted and everything I didn't. I mean, it was just, I couldn't imagine a more perfect way to spend my time. That is what gets my juices flowing, knowing that there's just, to introduce them to places they haven't been, to experiences they haven't had. So that's what I love, is the entire planning stage and then just see it unfold.
Awesome. A lot of people go online and try to plan a cruise. I know when I've been on cruises in the past, we've always used a travel agent. What is it about you as a travel agent that really personalizes it for your client? What do you bring to the table for them, kind of proprietary that they can't get just buying something off a website?
Well, first off, what I offer my clients is a stress-free, customized, and elevated travel planning service. So what they can't get is like, for example, when I plan a trip for somebody, I'm not a 1-800 number or a website. I will not send a client on an experience or a trip I would not go on personally. The other thing is that when they are on that trip, I'm with them. Any of my clients can tell you, it doesn't matter where I am in the world. If I have a question, I have a concern, Tracy's there for me. Or if I just want to tell her, and she checks on me too. No 1-800 number or website is going to do that. They know that I am with them from the time before they even go until the time they return and beyond.
Back in. That is absolutely amazing, Tracy, and very excited to have you here. So back to you in the studio, Leon.
So Tracy, tell me this. I worked in the hotel business for 35 years or so, and folks would call the front desk and ask questions about the local area. They would ask all these things. And one of the things that we found at the front desk was we weren't the subject matter experts, even in our own cities. And so as I am now no longer in the business and thinking about taking a vacation, what are some things that I should look for in terms of a destination? And specifically when we talk about cruises, I hear the term, the port, you're going to go to this port, you're going to go here, you're going to go there. What are some great places to go to now? And what are some of the most unique things that I could see now if I were planning a trip?
Oh, wow. That's a big question because you literally have the whole wide world. When you talk about cruises, the first thing you have to do is can you give me an idea of maybe what part of the world? Because are we talking the Caribbean? Are we talking Europe? Can you give me some idea? Because
yeah,
let's pick a continent.
Okay, let's narrow it down. Let's say I wanted to take a trip. I live near Baltimore, and so I wanted to go from Baltimore to take a 7-day cruise, say to the Caribbean.
Uh-huh.
What would you suggest for me? What would be something groovy that I gotta go, a ship, or what do I do on the ship? I mean, give me kind of a 2-minute spiel on what it's like to take a cruise.
Okay, well, first of all, you mentioned something key here, Baltimore. So if you are within driving distance of Baltimore, fantastic, because that is a cruise port. And it can take you to the Bahamas. So I would most likely talk to you like, gee, your options are good. You can go to Bermuda, which is a fantastic trip. And then there's another one. You could go to the Bahamas, or you can go further into the Caribbean. So let's just say, for example, that you pick Bermuda, you want to go there. So the thing about Bermuda is it's just beautiful. It's got, would you believe, pink sand beaches? I might talk to you about Horseshoe Beach, where you must go because it's beautiful pink sand. So we would delve into the destination, and then what would come to play here would be, what are some of the things that you like to do, or what are some of the things you don't like to do? Say, for example, this would be unbelievable if you were going to Bermuda, but I don't want to see the beach. Believe it or not, I've had some people go to, these destinations and say, I don't want to go to the beach. So it's like, well, did you know that there's actually great historical things you can see? Ooh, that sounds good. And let's talk about the food. So it just really boils down to, what is it you like to do? And that's how we craft the trip.
Well, let me tell you something, Tracy. When you say don't want to be on the beach, I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Listen, I swim like a typewriter. Right? So you can laugh at that because you understand, right? So folks that are from a different generation, I say something like swim like a typewriter. They go, huh? I go, swim like a computer. They crack up. So yeah, I wouldn't want to go on the beach, but I want to go on a cruise. So I could do Bermuda. What's the best time to go in terms of price? How soon in advance should I start planning my trip?
Well, as you know, the last couple of 3 years have kind of turned things on their ear. So what I mean by that is there used to be like, okay, so what they call wave season would start in the early part of the year, January, February, and that's where the cruise lines would typically come out with some of their best offers. But given the situation and the experience we went in almost the last couple of years, things have kind of changed. So what I would say is that if you're planning on taking a cruise and we're already well into the season, consider booking a year out in advance because right now, they're trying to fill up the cruise ships. They want people to come back. So now is a good time to start looking for next year. There isn't this unprecedented offers right now.
Wow, who knew? A year out. I didn't know that. One more
Hmm.
one more thing I want to talk about, and then we'll bring Mike right back in to talk about networking here for a second. I'm Leon Thomas. You're watching NRG This Week. We're here with NRG CEO and President Mike Weiner, and today's guest is Tracy Kay, a professional cruise planner, right? And Tracy, what's something that first timers, those that are taking a cruise for the first time, what's the most common thing or something that they forget or don't know or don't ask that because you've done this so often, you're able to direct them in the right way or to remind them to do or don't do? Give me some of those like rookie mistakes.
Okay, so one thing I try to do is to keep them from having any experience like that before they get on the cruise. So, for example, one of the things I'll delicately inquire about is motion sickness. Uh, it's like, hey, have you ever had that experience? I ask that question because it's important then where you put the cabin on the ship. So if somebody does have had that experience in the past, what you want to do is put their cabin as low as you can on the ship in the middle part of the ship. Now, because it's the most smooth ride. Now, understand something. Modern cruise ships they have stabilizers and all kinds of things. So it's not like being on this little dinghy. So they're very calm in general. But these are some things that I like them to know. And the other thing is that don't go on there with preconceived notions. Okay. So for example, oh, I have to do this, I have to play bingo, or I have to do whatever. I think, nope, go on there with an open mind because it's an activity for everyone. So that's what I do. But the important thing here is before you even go on the cruise, there are experiences for everyone. So some people don't thrive on a large cruise ship. There are smaller ships that can even go to the smaller ports of call, like Santorini in Greece, that large cruise ships can't go to.
Hmm.
So it's a matter of fitting the person with the cruise experience. It's amazing the people I talk to. Wow, I didn't know that I could do that. I didn't know that this was possible.
Yeah.
So one size does not fit all.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. Now, Tracy, from the way I'm asking questions, have I been on a cruise before? What do you think? Have I been on a cruise?
I think maybe you have been on a cruise. And I think maybe you might have encouraged, depending on how you booked it, you might have like, oh, I'm not sure this was for me, or it could have been any number of things that you might have felt like, I don't know, maybe I'm not sure I want to do this again, or maybe I might.
Yeah.
See, it all comes down to finding the right fit
All right.
before you get on a ship, and a
Hmm.
website and a toll-free number can't do that.
Right. Right on. But you can. And Tracy, I have never been on a cruise other than around the Baltimore Inner Harbor. I will
Same
be
difference.
I will be contacting you to get my vacation lined up for next year. I will be contacting you. How do folks get in touch with you, Tracy?
Okay,
What's
so
the
I'm
best way
pretty
to reach
easy.
you?
You can send me an email at tracy.kay@cruiseplanners.com, or you can call me at 703-662-5844. Those are probably two of the easiest ways to get a hold of me. I also have a virtual business card, which is https:// infone.co/Tracy K. There you can see a lot about my website. You can even set up a Zoom call with me. So there's a lot of information there. So very easy to reach me.
Okay, great. Now let's talk networking with Mike Weiner. How did you meet Mike Weiner, and what's it been like being an NRG member?
Well, this is how I met Mike Weiner. My husband basically said, "Oh, well, you have to come into this organization." You wouldn't believe it. I mean, she started talking about this Mike Weiner and how he connected him with all of these people to the point where his connections exploded to the point where he had to get a new CRM, to manage all of these contacts. And I'm like, what? And then before I even got in, he had gotten one of my good friends who I've known for 20 years into it as well. And so they both conspired to get me in. So here I am. And so I'm relatively new, but I am getting to know people, and the people in NRG are just very interested in getting to know you, how they can help you, which is great because that's also my philosophy. Let me get to know you. Let me see who I can connect you with and how I can help you. And I think that's the very best way to network.
Yeah.
And Mike brings that to us.
All right. And Mike, tell us what it's like having Tracy as part of NRG and some cool relationships and people she's met and all of that stuff. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I love having Tracy in. It's interesting because her husband Jeff had been on the show with you, Leon, and we just hit it off right away. And it's interesting, Tracy, because the day that you joined was the day that Dee joined. So it's pretty really within about 20 minutes. I think Jeff had talked to both of you, but it's been great having you in. I love travel. I've been on a lot of cruises over the years, and I remember the pink sand in Bermuda. I've been to Alaska, and there's a lot of great cruise opportunities out there, but you bring a real freshness, a vibrance about you. I'm a high energy guy and I'm all into law of attraction. Your vibration is always very high, and that's really important today. But it's been a delight having you in, and I love connecting you and Jeff and Dee and everybody that's part of the NRG family. It's been awesome.
Oh, great.
What could I say to that? I mean,
yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
All right. Well, Tracy, thank you for being here early in the morning.
Thank you for having me. It's been an honor.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. Thanks, and everyone. Thanks for watching NRG This Week. I'm Leon Thomas with co-host Mike Weiner. He's the CEO and president of Network Referral Group. If you want to learn more about Network Referral Group, which you should, you can go to nrg.online, or you can contact Mike. Mike, I'm going to do this phone number without even looking at the screen or without looking at my phone because I've known it for years. Let's watch me screw it up. 443-756, not looking at the screen, 9656. All right, Mike?
You got it, Leon. Way to go, buddy.
Yes. And I know we're not supposed to talk sports here, but I'm going to do it anyway for just 10 seconds. Let's go, O's.
Let's go, O's. They're only about a game out of the wild card. So who would have felt in mid-August that they would be there?
That's 10 seconds. Oh, anyway, go ahead. I love it. I love it. Thanks. Leon Thomas here, Mike Weiner, and that was our guest, Tracy K. You just watched an episode of NRG This Week. We'll see you next week, next Monday at 8 o'clock for another episode of NRG This Week. Thanks for watching NRG. Here we go.